Welcome to Interviews from Mexico. I'm Laura Carlson, and I'll be your host as we look at cutting-edge issues with the men and women who know them best, here on Telesur.
Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Yo no sé si tenga amor la eternidad, pero allá tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí.
This year, 2018, marks 100 years since the birth and 50 years since the death of Álvaro Carrillo, one of Mexico's greatest composers. The name Álvaro Carrillo may not be very well known, but his songs certainly are. They've been translated into languages around the world and have delighted millions. To talk about Álvaro Carrillo and his career, we're very fortunate to have here in the studio Mario Carrillo. Mario, thanks so much for being with us here on Interviews from Mexico.
Thank you, Laura. I'm very glad to be here to talk about my passion is Álvaro Carrillo.
Mario is also a singer and a composer, and he's been dedicated to preserving his father's legacy. Mario, tell us how your father got started in music and became the great legend that he now is in Mexican music.
Okay, first, he was born in a very, very small place that called Costa Chica. Costa Chica in Oaxaca. In Oaxaca is a place that is very particular because it's a place where the African Mexican lived there. My father is this kind of people, but he started with the studies in the primary studies, secondary, and the studies. My father was a great student, very great students, and all the professors that he had promoted to him to go out to the Costa Chica, because Costa Chica is very close there.
And at the time, it must not have been very common for students, for young people in this little village in the southern state of Oaxaca to leave to pursue an education, right?
Yeah, that's right. And another thing that my father was lost his parents when he was 8 years old, and that is very uncommon, that the people there with no parents go out there. No? The most of them, they get started.
What did he study in Mexico City, and how did he end up in music?
First, went to Ayotzinapa. My father studied in Ayotzinapa, and then
Ayotzinapa, which has become famous with the disappearance of the 43 students.
And they
love him. Teaching called
the student of Ayotzinapa loved him, really loved him. He's an idol there. And then
to this day.
Yeah. Now, and then he went to Chapingo. Chapingo is for agronomists, engineering for agronomists, and I guess when he studied in Chapingo, he started to be a real composer. There in Chapingo is the most important moment to him in his career of composer, because all the most of his songs, the most important songs, were created there in Chapingo.
As a very young man.
Yeah, maybe he's around 27, 29 when he started there.
And after that, then, did he go back to Oaxaca and continue to compose there or travel?
No, I guess he is very, when his personality he always wants to finish all that he started, no? And when he get inside to Chapingo, I guess he didn't imagine that he was a great composer. No pasaba en eso.
It was like a hobby to
Ah,
him
yeah,
at the
I
time.
guess that. Around 40 years old, he started to be a composer, professional composer.
And he began to collect some of those old songs from his youth as well. Well, your family has said that this is a very important year because
Sí.
of the birth and the death that took place, an untimely death in an accident, as I understand. And that in some ways it's the death that you're commemorating because it's the moment in which Álvaro Carrillo transcended and became a legend. How do you explain the fact that 50 years later his music still has such an impact on Mexican culture?
Well, I guess two things. The most important, he's a melodist. Yes, his melodies is very contagious. You know,
They're very
Sabor a mí,
singable.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, or the Yellow Days, or La Mentira, what we call that, is da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So the melodies of Álvaro Carrillo is very, very important in his life. And the other hand, the lyrics of Álvaro Carrillo. The lyrics is very exceptional man, because the study that he had provoked him to domine the language. So I guess the poetry of Álvaro Carrillo is very, very important for the Mexican people, and the people who know Spanish is the very uncommon letters now.
Well, let's talk about the lyrics because they're remarkable for the time and even for now. In addition to the verse, they're beautiful verses and they're very well crafted verses, actually what they say, the content is extraordinary. And one of the reasons is because at a time when writers of popular songs were mostly talking about women in stereotype versions of romance and betrayal.
Too aggressive.
He had a much more human portrayal of relationships and of women themselves. Do you agree with that, and how would you explain it?
Yes. Well, I guess that Álvaro Carrillo could be an example today, because all the music is very aggressive now, very, very aggressive.
Yeah, a lot of
and Álvaro Carrillo could be an example to the another composers to be more kind. And because the music could be kind, I guess that.
Kinder.
Yeah, kinder, very kinder. Now is the others hand, too aggressive, machismo. I know that Álvaro Carrillo is not there.
Well, it's certainly refreshing, and to see also that it still reaches young people today. There's a Korean pop group, very popular, that recently recorded it. EXO
K, I think this is. I'm very proud about that. No, Álvaro Carrillo had 50 years that he didn't compose nothing, and still be in these people. No, very, very uncommon in Mexico and the world. No, 50 years with
for the music to live on.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, well, that certainly says a lot about the quality and the appeal of that music. The most famous song around the world is, without a doubt, Sabor a mí.
Sabor a mí and La Mentira, or Yellow Days. Is because I guess because the royalties say that is Sabor a mí and Yellow Days.
That have been the most covered in all languages and translated.
I guess that Yellow Days is very popular in the English language. I guess it's because the melody. I don't know why, but we receive more royalties from the other countries by Yellow Days, and Sabor a mí is maybe more Latin.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell us a story, because it's a wonderful story, of how Sabor a mí came to be written.
Yeah, my mother and my father met in 1957 in the first holidays in December. my mom doesn't drink nothing, didn't drink nothing, and my father drink a lot. So when my father was drink whiskey, take a little drink of whiskey and gave a kiss. Drink of whiskey, gave a kiss, and my mom said, "Hey, Alvaro, you don't drink a lot, please." No? And in the other hand, my father doesn't import that. And when my mom still have a kiss with the with
the whiskey breath.
Yeah, said, "Oh, Alvaro, I'm drunk now, and I don't drink a lot." And my mother said, yeah, I got a whiskey in my lips. Yeah, and my father said, "No, you got the taste of me." So I got a taste of whiskey, and no, you got the taste of me.
And they knew they had a song.
Yeah, and my mother was a poetry, so she wrote the phrase
in the middle of the party.
Yeah, and this is your homework. You got to do a song of that words. And Sabor a mí was successful, no? Very successful. But I guess Yellow Days is very successful too.
A lot of beautiful songs. Another characteristic of Alvaro Carrillo, in addition to the music, is the fact that he came out of this small community, an Afro-Mexican community, at a time when the Afro-Mexican population was practically invisible. It's only been really recently here in Mexico that they've been recognized as an indigenous population. Do you think that he encountered discrimination as a result of that? What did that mean to the music in his career?
I guess yes, because my father imagined in the televisions doesn't exist, and like as Agustin Lara, José Alfredo Jiménez, all the composers that you know always stay in the television, but my father no. I don't know why, but I suppose a little bit some kinds of racism.
Did he himself consider it an important aspect of his identity or of his work?
I don't know. I would like to talk about my father now in this moment, like an Afro-Mexican, yes, but I would like to talk about him with the negro. No, because the negro in the Costa Chica is very different than the common of the world. It's very sweet. Most of people call me now negro, but negrito, come here. It's very. I guess if I
it's
put
a term of endearment.
Yeah. I would like to put there my father because we are in a very important moment in Mexico. Now it's very important, and I would like to put my father there by the example to show if exists discrimination. Don't care about that. You can go and reach your goals. Alvaro Carrillo reached his goals.
A national hero, really, in many ways.
You can do it. This is the part that I would like to put in the important way now.
It could be very inspiring to young people.
Yeah, I guess
from
yes.
A place like San Juan, Cacahuete.
And they need it. The young people need an imagine like Alvaro Carrillo. I guess that, because if you love Alvaro Carrillo, you can love your grandpa, you can love your mom, you can know the other people that you can reach these goals, like many people. No?
It's another characteristic of the music too, that it crosses generations.
And the young people love his music. He doesn't care how he's like, no? I guess that.
He doesn't care how popular he is?
Yeah, no. And my father got another characteristic. His measure is not about his money or economical reach. No, his measure is about the transcendental was his music, and I know that. The most people now measure your to imagine your success about money. You get money, you are very, very important. And if you don't have money, you're a loser. No, Álvaro Carrillo is the other hand, not get money, but he's a very successful people. I would like to explore that.
And he unfortunately was killed in an accident at the age of 50. By that time, was there recognition of his music, of what a mark it would make on Mexican culture?
No, there's no recognition. Sabor a mí get inside to the Hall of Fame of Grammy by Javier Solís, inducted by Javier Solís, not by Álvaro Carrillo. He got no prize, nothing. But this is I like that because Álvaro Carrillo is very mystical about that.
Well, he certainly left a great gift to all of us, whether it was recognized in his lifetime or not. Quickly, we're coming to the end of the show, unfortunately, but tell us about the activities you have planned.
Well, we have 4 activities important. One is a caravan. We have with Martirio, musical caravans, with Martirio, Yoshiro Hiroshi from Japan, and Las Hermanas García from La Costa Chica and Ometepec, Guerrero, and Choco Prudente. This is the first activity in March and April. The other one is I got a book, biographic book with the songs and the story of the songs teach about Álvaro Carrillo. The other one is a documentary by one director, young director, Juan Carlos Landa. I guess it's very uncommon documentary because was searching Álvaro Carrillo because we don't know what happened with the documentary now. We are going to Ayotzinapa, to Chapingo, who knows the people's interview the people who knew him, and finally the event that we are start in the January 15, who calls 100 homage for a centenary. For a century.
For a century.
For a century,
since
sorry.
his birth. Great. Well, it's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much for being here. But I'm sure by now the audience is ready to hear some music. What will you sing for us today?
Sabor a mí, of course, but in a 3 language, English, Zapotec, and Spanish.
That's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabor a mí by Álvaro Carrillo, sung by Mario Carrillo.
Tanto tiempo disfrutamos este amor, nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte y conversar, tanta vida yo te di, que por fuerza llevas ya sabor a mí. Kadirave, Gakustine, Irutinaka, Kadikuchayendanaro, Shkendanavane, Kudienirisaka, Naendasi Shirundi, Sandaudie, Sadidi Staleisa, Stalepe, que gana Paluendaguti, Sanashe Neraibaka Sirari Daniru Alumasineu Nishestine. For so long we both enjoyed this great love, and our souls became so close that I still have the taste of you, but you also carry through the taste of me. If you will deny my presence in your life, all I do is hold you tight, and we would talk so much joy from me to you, that no matter what you do, you have the taste of me. I would never pretend to own you. I am nothing and I have no vanity. Of my life I give the best. I'm so poor, there's nothing else for me to give. 1,000 years will soon go by, and many more. I don't know if in eternity there is love, but out there as well as here, on your lips there'll always be sabor, sabor a mí. Sabor a mí.